Since its launch alongside the PlayStation 3 in 2006, the MotorStorm series has taken to new territory with each release. Pacific Rift ventured outside the original game's dusty deserts and into the jungle, while the snowy tundra permeated the PSP spin-off, Arctic Edge. MotorStorm Apocalypse keeps this tradition strong, but represents the greatest departure from the familiar so far. Rather than sending race cars into the wild, nature comes to the drivers, and it utterly devastates the new urban environment.
Yeah, I'm in the Brotherhood. It's an exclusive group.
Apocalypse marks MotorStorm's first foray into storytelling. Racing through crumbling cities hardly demands explanation, but this is a more experimental effort for developer Evolution Studios. Motion comic cinematics detail 3 separate stories, each focusing on drivers of various statuses within an organized racing ring. None of these small, contained yarns are particularly interesting, although to their credit, each tries something different.
When you're boosting, hold the boost, kid. More efficient.
All at once, huh?
The first follows a rookie racer, which serves as the perfect excuse to show you the ropes. Gruff guys and well-endowed women explain the basics while cracking jokes, and the overall goofiness disguises the complete lack of an actual plot. The tone shifts drastically in the second story, which kicks it up a notch with bad breakups, brutal beatings, and characters getting killed. What once seemed to be purposefully bad dialogue transforms into plain old bad voice acting.
This doesn't make any sense, man!
And the melodrama doesn't jibe with what we've just gotten used to. The tales are too short to invest any emotion into anyway, and the memory of the macho characters evaporates the instant a race starts. The weak narrative is so inconsequential that it's ultimately a bothersome distraction from the fun. That the cartoony art isn't in line with Apocalypse's otherwise gorgeous, grim style is all the more confusing. Thankfully, you can just skip the in-between interruptions and get right to the good stuff. The unpredictability of the end of the world is equal parts frustrating and refreshing. Not having any control over the changes in the environment is what makes MotorStorm Apocalypse so thrilling, even after restarting a race for the first or 15th time. As tracks change, memorization becomes more important than quick reflexes. Make no mistake, you will crash in Apocalypse, a lot. Everything moves so quickly that it's tough to avoid the dense debris. It's a sensational feeling to narrowly avoid a new obstruction, but losing at the last minute because of it incites controller-crushing rage. Multiplayer borrows a lot from the single-player game naturally, but it has its own set of distinct features. Both components use the same main match types, the standard race for first place, and elimination, where the last-place racer gets knocked out every few seconds. Multiplayer also employs a perk system that isn't seen in the solo game. Perks allow you to equip unlockable modifiers, which give vehicles lengthier boosts, better grip, and other enhancements. This gives you a leg up against human opponents. As you win races, wreck opponents, or hit huge hang time, you'll earn coins to level up and access newer, better bonuses. The glue holding the world together doesn't give in to quakes and storms online though, so the tracks don't change. It's a jarring move toward the tame. The core racing is still excellent, but you'll spend as much time waiting in lobbies as you do on the track. Players have plenty of time to peruse their progress meters and browse parts unlocked from leveling up while the game organizes itself between races. The wait can take a lot of wind out of your sails if you're in the mood to just stomp on the gas pedal. Another infamous MotorStorm problem Apocalypse suffers from is spotty online matchmaking. Low-level racers get lumped into lobbies with top-tier racers. This leads to a lot of eating everyone else's dust. The counterweight is the new wager system, which lets players bet on their success against a selected opponent. The better the driver, the higher the experience points pay off if you place ahead of them. It's hardly a game-changing system, but those of us who can't place on the podium can revel in small victories versus rivals. Apocalypse remains, for better or worse, recognizable for MotorStorm veterans. Drivers trade paint, throw punches, and grind each other into crumpled, flaming wrecks while fighting for first place. Boosting is essential to bumping up the ranks, but there's a strategy to using it effectively. Abusing the boost causes your car to overheat and explode, so delicate use rather than over-reliance is crucial to staying on the road. Letting go of the accelerator in midair or splashing through pools of water to cool the boost are crucial too. Each vehicle tier has its share of strengths and weaknesses to monitor as well. Some sacrifice control for brute force or power for speed. Smart drivers will be able to take their monster trucks, motorbikes, or muscle cars through each track with relative ease, but even they'll need to improvise when the world betrays them. Landslides, earthquakes, thunderstorms, and tornadoes absolutely ravage racetracks. These environmental effects aren't just for show. Splitting roads create new paths, crashing buildings block routes you've come to rely on, and ruthless winds hurl objects into competitors. By the third lap of a race, tracks are nearly unrecognizable from their original forms. Subtlety isn't important to these scripted events. Set pieces wait for the right time, so you see its entire destructive splendor. It's tough to feel anything but awe each time a structure smashes through a road or an explosion rocks the road, regardless of regularity. Of all the MotorStorm games, Apocalypse seems best suited to the metal and grunge tunes of earlier entries. It's dark and harsh, yet it takes a sharp turn with its music. Apocalypse trades angst for the horns and strings we'd expect in a film score. Keep your MP3 player nearby if this isn't your thing. With so many things falling apart and burning to bits, it's tough to take in the scenery on the first run. Explore alternate routes or pause to take photos, and it becomes abundantly clear. MotorStorm is putting the PlayStation hardware through its paces. It's an exceptionally beautiful game, not in spite of its desolate setting, but because of it. The impressive particle effects such as dust, rain, and wind really sell the end of days aesthetic. Apocalypse has high expectations of the player, but the reward for hard work, diligence, and patience is one of the most exciting racing games available. Even with the lingering issues, this is MotorStorm at its most extravagant, at its most intense, and at its absolute best.